Hi there, this is Infinity, and today I'll show you the most incredible and mysterious finds that scientists still can't explain. Archaeological figures. Archaeological figures is a collection of more than 33,000 miniature clay figurines depicting humans and extinct animals, particularly non-avian dinosaurs. The collection is striking for several reasons. First, there's not a single repeating specimen in it, and 2,500 units of this collection are represented by dinosaur figurines. Secondly, the diversity of the collection is truly astonishing. There are species known to us, as well as those that modern scientists cannot identify. For example, the winged dragon dinosaurs. And here we come to the main thing. Scientists do not understand how some dragons ended up in this collection. Does this mean that dragons actually existed and were dinosaur species? Does it mean that since dragons began to be depicted before our era, then the dinosaurs became extinct quite recently? And does it mean that humans and dinosaurs coexisted together? Many theorists believe that the Archaeological figures prove that humans and dinosaurs did coexist in close contact, and this coexistence included the whole spectrum of relations, from the conflict of two such incompatible species of living beings to the possible domestication of dinosaurs by humans. Scientists still can't understand whether there's at least some truth in these assumptions, but at the same time, they're not going to flatly abandon the generally accepted theory, according to which dinosaurs became extinct 66 million years ago. Peru is one of the most amazing countries in the world. On the one hand, it may seem that there's nothing interesting there, but in fact in Peru, like nowhere else, you can find an incredible amount of various artifacts. One of them is the Ica stones, named after the town of Ica in the vicinity of which they were found. The Ica stones are engraved stones depicting various aspects of ancient society. It would seem that there's nothing unusual about them, but the fact is that, among other things, the stones depict complex medical operations, human and animal embryology, dinosaurs, aspects of space exploration, strange animals, etc. Of particular note are the frequent depiction of dinosaurs. The most interesting thing is that in most cases, dinosaurs are depicted in close interactions with humans. Curiously, the Archaeological figures I just told you about depict the same thing, don't they? But that's not all. Many series of the Ica stones depict scenes that testify to the highest level of development of medicine of the ancient South American civilization. The most typical scenes are of organ transplants. Were ancient people really such great healers? And were they really close to dinosaurs? Sounds shady, but the historicity of the Ica stones is not doubted by many scientists, and that scares them. They can't figure out how these images appeared on the ancient stones and whether it's true that history as we know it is mistaken. Williams enigmalite. Scientists have not been able to explain the discovery of John Williams for more than 20 years. In 1998, during a tour of the American wilderness, Williams discovered an unusual rock, which appears to have an electrical plug embedded in it. The stone itself is a granite formation consisting of quartz, feldspar, and mica. The most incredible thing about this find is that its age was an estimated 100,000 years. Williams seems to have found the oldest electrical plug. The find has been named the Williams enigmalite. Scientists were stumped by this find. They've never been able to figure out what the body of the electric plug was made of, but they do know it's not metal, wood, plastic, or rubber. There are no traces of gluing, soldering, welding, or anything like that at the junction of the plug and the stone. It turns out that the fork was embedded in the stone during the formation of the granite monolith, and the fork itself may even be more than 100,000 years old because the stone was formed around it. Williams' discovery has led to a number of highly opposite versions and opinions, from the acceptance of the fact that in ancient times Earth was visited by aliens to the accusations of fraud. One way or another, the true nature of the stone has not yet been understood. And the next find was stumbled upon not by a scientist or a tourist, but by one of my subscribers. He sent me this picture, which shows something like an alien rookery. What do you really think it is? A mystery of the past? An artwork? Or maybe a flash mob? Share your thoughts in the comments section down below. And stay tuned. Plain of Jars. What do you know about Laos? Probably most of you only know that this country is located in Southeast Asia. Laos doesn't seem to have any famous or interesting sites, right? Not really. It's in this country is the so-called Plain of Jars. It refers to a valley located on a plateau that is full of very strange giant jars. The height of the vessels range from half a meter to 3 meters, and their weight is simply amazing. Some jars have it up to 6 tons. What's also striking is that in the plain there are not just a couple of jars, but several dozen of them. Finally, the age of the jars is also interesting. Researchers say that it may be more than 1,500 to 2,000 years. Yes, the appearance of the jars is epic, and they hold too many mysteries. First, it's not clear who would want to build such vessels in the plain. Second, scientists believe that the jars may have been used by an ancient people living in Southeast Asia, whose culture remains completely unknown. Third, it's unclear how these jars were made. Scientists claim that they're made from a rock that's not found in this area. So far, this is all the researchers can say. The meaning of the jars is still unclear, and it's possible that their mystery will never be solved. Did you know that the pyramids are not just in Egypt? In fact, these strange structures are found all over the world, but not too much is said about them. One striking example is the so-called White Pyramid located in China. The White Pyramid was first discovered at the end of World War II by American pilot James Gaussman. Having estimated the size of the construction, James was amazed. The height of the pyramid was about 300 meters or 984 feet. That is, it was twice the height of the Pyramid of Khufu. Further, the pyramid was investigated. It was established that it was a structure and not a mountain of natural origin. Here, the tooled giant stones are carefully stacked and fitted together. Everything exactly as in the case of the Egyptian pyramids. Scientists have never been able to explain who built the White Pyramid, what tools were used, and how the stones were moved. Scientists have only a couple of versions. According to the first one, the White Pyramid is a tomb of some emperor, and according to the second version, it's a small part of a giant system of sacred lines. It's interesting that after society began to talk about the White Pyramid, the Chinese government closed the area adjacent to it to tourists and scientists. It was explained by the fact that near the pyramid there's a launching pad for rockets launching satellites into orbit. Many theorists believe that this is just a fake excuse and that, in fact, the ban is due to the fact that further study of the White Pyramid would reveal the eerie secrets feared by the ruling elite. In terms of mystery, China boasts more than just the pyramid. Some finds found in China may suggest that the Chinese have made a much greater contribution to human history than we thought. For example, in 2001, a Chinese collector bought an ancient map in an antique store in Shanghai. At first glance, it would seem to be a regular old map. There are plenty of these in any country. The map was dated 1763. But according to Chinese characters on the map, this map was drawn by Mo Yi Tong based on an original map from 1418. As you can see, the right side of the map clearly shows America in roughly the same contour as we know it now. But how is that possible when we know that America was discovered later in 1492 by Columbus? And the outlines of both Americas came even later. Scientists cannot explain this unusual find and mostly limit themselves to the version that it's a fake. Ancient bullet. This unique archaeological find was made in Crimea, where the scientists were excavating ancient Taurus and came across an ancient structure. A crack was found in one of the masonry stones. Archaeologists decided to remove the stone without damaging it. It would seem that they should have been upset, but the crack exposed a surprising find, an iron bullet. It might seem surprising because it was stuck in the stone, but no. Scientists conducted radiocarbon analysis of the artifact and found out that the age of the stone and the bullet were the same and amounted to 2,200 years. That is, this bullet appeared even before our era. But how's that possible if it's known that small arms appeared only in the 2nd millennium AD? Scientists couldn't explain this mysterious find, but one thing is certain: the history of the origin of this artifact is shrouded in mysteries. That's all, guys. Do you have any explanations for these finds? If yes, share them in the comments section below.